Welcome once again to Vinny Makes the Hall of Fame case for ... Well, who's the triple dots today, Vinny Lospinuso? The Wonder Kid. I guess not a kid anymore, 21, 22, a Hofstra graduate. Congrats again for that.
Yes, thank you again for that. Graduating class of December 2021.
Mm-hmm.
Now I try to just find out if LinkedIn and Indeed works in my favor this time.
This time, okay.
But you know, during the meantime, I'm still going to be doing a lot of the podcasts and vlogs and whatnot. So yeah, I'm not going anywhere, so don't worry.
Oh, I was never worried about that. You've got an interesting one, and I had no idea who this person was. I honestly thought, because you came up with Trip Hawkins, and I'm thinking, sounds like a basketball player from the 70s. I wonder if he played in the ABA. That's literally what I thought.
He sounds like one, yeah, like Connie Hawkins, almost like that.
Yeah, that's sort of what I thought. But no, we're talking about a video game developer. So
yes.
So tell us about Trip Hawkins.
Yes. Now, first off, yes, this is a very, very unique case because Trip Hawkins was the founder of Electronic Arts, William Murray Hawkins III. That's why his nickname is Trip. Now, I might be saying, why, Vinny, why in the hell are you trying to make a Hall of Fame case for a guy that made video games? That's exactly why I'm making the Hall of Fame case for him, because he's the reason why the Madden games even exist. He's the lead developer of it. In fact, when he was younger, he loved the Stratomatic games. Like, you know, Strato, like, you know, the pen and paper dice games. That game a very, very huge impression. And he wanted to try to make his own game. That didn't work out as well. So then he decided, you know, I'm going to start my own company. I'm going to call it Electronic Arts. And what he was thinking in his mind, the very first thing he was thinking of was these computerized football games. And here's a fun fact. He actually predicted, or accurately, in college, that the Dolphins would beat the Vikings in the Super Bowl. He was 23-6, but it turned out that the final score was 24-7. So he's off by one, but because of the simulation that he would do, he would accurately predict it. Now, that sounds good at first. But then he went for 3 different choices to try to have his own game. First, he approached Joe Montana, but he had to deal with Atari, so he couldn't do it. And then he wanted to go to Joe Kapp, the former, you know, BC Lions QB and Minnesota Vikings QB, but he demanded royalties. But then he approached John Madden, and that ended up being the choice they went with, and the rest was eventually history.
Before we go any further, because it's just, and you may or may not know the answer to this. So Madden doesn't get royalties off this, or his family, I guess now, since he's since passed?
Yes, there's actually a project. It was called Trip's Folly. He said that he received $100,000 against the royalties that EA's outside auditors advised to write off, and this was because it would never be recouped. But I do remember he says that he could have had an unlimited amount of options in the stock of EA, an initial public offering. But because of how successful the game ended up being, he would say that's the dumbest thing that he ever did in his life.
Madden?
Yes.
Okay. All right, yeah, because I was sort of wondering how that would work. I can't even imagine, in all due respect to Joe Kapp, who was a pretty decent quarterback, but Montana, Madden, Joe Cap? One of these things is not like the other.
There's a big reason why that's the case. You see, like I said, he was at Stanford, Trip
Yeah.
Hawkins,
Okay.
and in that area, because at that time, of course, the Montana in the Bay Area, Joe Cap was the coach at Cal, so that was a lot easier for them to get. Not Joe Montana, John Madden was in that area at that time. That's the reason why. It's about
Okay.
the area. That's the reason why.
If it
Can
would
you
have been
imagine in
Cap,
a world if we had Joe Cap football?
no. I mean, if you win the Super Bowl, then you unlock something special where you beat up Angelo Mosca. I mean, I can't figure this out. It doesn't make any sense. Well, it doesn't matter. But back to Trip. I wanted to see. I was always curious. Well, I wasn't that curious, but I was curious how that works. So, in terms of Madden royalties, now you explain that one. Does so he founded EA? So all the NBA, NHL, that's all him too.
Yes, everything that EA has ever made is all responsible because he created the company itself.
Okay.
Electronic Arts would not exist if it was not for Trip Hawkins even conceiving the very idea of making the Madden game. So, like, if you just look at the sport itself, its impact of the sport as a whole, a company like Electronic Arts, who has been so successful in its own field, would not exist without it in the first place.
Okay. So I think
I
it's
would also
a compelling argument. I think the counter is there's just so many deserving people. I mean, we can't even get Ralph Hay in, who founded the damn NFL.
Yeah, it's stupid. I know.
So Tripp would be well down. I think you'd agree with this, well down in terms of the contributor list.
Oh yeah, there's no question about it.
Would you be open to an idea, something like what baseball does, where they actually honor things like Tommy John's not in, but Tommy John surgery is,
No.
No. Okay.
No. I'm very against that because the reason why I'm so against the idea of like those exhibits, because it oftentimes feels like you're not truly giving the full honor. I really am against that because this comes down to an idea in which I'm also from an area in which unless you're given the full treatment and you're very, very requested or very, very deserving, it almost feels in a sense that you failed. Now, do I think he failed? Not in the slightest. I don't. But because of that, and because it's the highest thing, you're still not giving him the highest thing. So it's like you're truly not embracing him truly within it. And if it wasn't for someone like the Madden games, who have generated billions of dollars in revenue for the league and also the sport, it's made fans smarter as a result because of how intricate the play calling every single one of them are. I mean, Joe Brady, who, even though he was just fired by the Panthers, a big reason why him and other coaches even got into coaching is because of how well they did while playing the game, because of how intricate it is to an actual play itself. In fact, all the camera angles you all seen, that all happened because it was inspired by the games. The way we view it as a whole is because of what Trip Hawkins did. So in my personal opinion, I think just giving him the second place honor, that doesn't truly give it justice because what he did was so fundamentally huge that giving him the second place wouldn't really give it justice, especially when the growth of the game itself is so hinged and dependent on it. So it feels like you're trying to whitewash, in a sense, the full treatment. Yeah, maybe you can give an exhibit, but that's still not enough. The guy itself needs the full treatment because what he did made exposure to these people a lot higher. And to not give him the same treatment as the same people he helped give that exposure to, it doesn't feel right to me. And yeah, obviously, he's much further down the list of contributors. And like, there's some that argue, oh, people only get into the game because of football itself. I would argue it's the other way around. For a lot of people in my generation, a lot of times that people like us even get into the sports itself is because of these video games. As someone who's part of the Gen Z crowd, I'm someone who got into video games long before I really got into sports. But I still notice that a lot of the fan bases are very, very similar in how meticulous they are with understanding certain plays. Someone in my space understands that connection between digital world and real world, And because more and more ties are being done from the video game side and the real life side, like, with Microsoft Surface and everything, it all goes back to Trip Hawkins. He is just really that influential that I think he deserves the bust. Now, obviously, I don't think I think like people like Winkenbach and other innovators and inventors are above him, but that doesn't mean I don't think Trip Hawkins is deserving. Like, he is a guy that I'm really, really big on, and it's a very unique case. Never seen Gap made it, so here I am. I gave the first ever case to him.
All right. Well, I certainly learned quite a bit from that. I hope other people will also. I'm curious to see who you're going to have next time we do this. Hopefully, I'll still be in Barbados when that happens. Because yes, I'm again the first person to willingly move from Barbados to Winnipeg.
It's like going from like the real deal Frosted Flakes to go to like the cheap, broke, store-bought version of it, where instead of Tony the Tiger, you get, I don't know, like
their food.
Yes, Terry the Tiger, their food.
Yes. Well, I don't think that's a night. I'm actually looking forward to returning to my home nation of Canada. So I didn't think I'd be in Winnipeg, but I didn't think I'd be in Barbados. I didn't think I'd be in the Rockies. Go figure.
Yeah, that's true.
Like
life you get to say you've gone everywhere. You've gone everywhere and everywhere far between.
Yes, life takes you where your wife says we're moving to. With that, stay safe, everyone. Check out our other shows. Vinny's got a lot of other shows that we have. We're also going to be doing our baseball panel next week, and then our football panel 2 weeks after that. So it should be a lot of fun. And hey, if you haven't, buy my book. Help me out. Why not?
Buy his book, guys.
Yes.
Seriously, what's taking you so long?
Yes, Chavo Guerrero Sr., instant classic, helped by me. So why not? Take care, everyone.
See ya.